Unpopular opinion, my least favorite character from Hamilton is Hamilton.
I'm just sitting here waiting to get in the car, and we're gonna drive, and it's gonna be Glendrives, and I don't know why my finger is doing this thing. So I'm just so excited to drive. It's gonna be a great drive. We're just gonna be driving. I smell pizza like I smell my own mind. I will never be finding pizzas on my mind.
Really?
I guess. I'm so sorry. It's just habit.
No, you're fine. It needs to be done because it's hot. So I have a question.
Yeah.
Out of all of the songs, which one do you think is your favorite from Hamilton?
That's really okay. No, it's not. It's not tough.
No?
The combination of all of King George's songs.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing. If you like take that out of consideration,
Yes.
I think. What's your favorite?
Okay. It's difficult to say, but I think my number one favorite would have to be Wait For It. Just because
That's a good
love
song.
the song. I love the idea of it. I love his voice. When we watched it on Disney Plus, I had goosebumps and my hair was standing up on end because I was like, God, this is so good. But I also really, really like songs like Washington on Your Side.
Oh, I love that one, and The Room Where It Happened.
So those I think would be like my top three.
Okay.
And notice none of them are Hamilton songs. Really love those ones.
I also really love What Did I Miss?
Yes.
Who are your top 3 favorite characters?
Okay. I would say my top one favorite character is honestly Jefferson.
Same!
I love Jefferson. And then my second favorite would be King George, and then my third favorite would be Lafayette. So what are yours?
Love Jefferson. Number 2, try not to copy you.
I know. It's hard though, because those are
Because like, here's the thing, I love King George's character.
Yeah.
But it's not as important to the story, I guess, as Jefferson. Jefferson, King George, Lafayette. I just love Jefferson Lafayette.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I understand that King George is not as big of a character, but every time he's on stage, he just steals the stage.
He makes such an impact.
And it's so funny, especially in scenes where he shouldn't be. Like
Yeah.
in the Reynolds pamphlet when he's just like dancing around. It's like, what are you even doing here? So as much as he doesn't really actually have a part, he just makes me laugh so much. Okay, so what's your least favorite song?
Burn.
Okay.
Just because the rest of the show is so fast-paced and fun,
Yeah.
it just sucks.
I think my least favorite song is, that's a tough one. I don't hate Burn. It's not my least favorite. It's definitely in the bottom though, but I'm trying to think of the one I skip the most when I listen to the soundtrack. I guess I would have to say, unpopular opinion, Say No to This is my least favorite song.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you didn't
I
like
just
that.
really don't like it. The song itself I don't like, and then also just like the situation the characters are in and the choices that are made, I just don't like it. Least favorite character or least favorite characters.
Hamilton.
Unpopular opinion, my least favorite character from Hamilton is Hamilton.
I don't like him as a person, okay?
Yeah, no, I get it. Actually, I really do.
Because I didn't know like anything about Hamilton going into it.
Yeah.
And at the end, Philip was like, "Oh, what do you think?" And I was like, "He was a horrible person."
You're not wrong.
To be fair, it's not like anyone was any worse or was.
Yeah,
It's not like he was any worse than anyone else. It was just
Right.
I think it was just because of the focus on what he did. I was like, no, that was weird.
I think my least favorite character would be
Don't you hate Mariah Reynolds?
I mean, I really do, and I know that should be obvious because my least favorite song is "Say No to This," and that's their song. I really don't like that whole thing, and I get that it's historically accurate. Yes, he did have an affair with her and everything. I just hate that part of the story. It's the worst part of the story. The other worst part of the story is Philip dying, so I guess that would also be my least. Sounds bad, but that would also be one of my least favorite characters just because I know what happens to him, so it always makes me sad when I hear Philip.
You know the same thing happens to Hamilton.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I feel you. I feel you.
Hamilton kind of deserved to die, but Philip didn't. He didn't do anything wrong. He was defending his daddy.
So have a question.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you've also done research about the people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is your favorite or most interesting fact that you have discovered that's not really touched on in the show?
I think my favorite would be that I learned apparently Thomas Jefferson invented macaroni and cheese.
What?
I don't know
My
if that's
hero!
true. You'll have to fact check me, but
All right.
I read somewhere, and again, it might not be reputable as a source, but I read it like on Tumblr or something, that someone read that Thomas Jefferson created macaroni and cheese when he was in France.
I'm gonna double check that.
You
and
do, because I'd like to know if it's true. Because if it is, that's my favorite factoid.
If it is, then I'm not gonna call it macaroni and cheese anymore. I'm gonna call it Jefferson noodles.
Jefferson noodles!
Hello, I am currently editing this video and I wanted to stop and fact check this fact about Thomas Jefferson inventing macaroni and cheese. So here I am looking at an article that I found from the Museum of Hoaxes. Doesn't sound promising. So, rumor has it that Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the US, could include among his many other accomplishments inventing macaroni and cheese. Apparently the Wikipedia entry for macaroni and cheese mentions that. Oh no! Macaroni was a highly fashionable food in late 18th century Paris, and Jefferson not only enjoyed the dish, but also commissioned William Short to purchase a machine for making it. The machine was later shipped to America. Jefferson also investigated the manufacture of macaroni during his trip to northern Italy and drew a sketch with detailed notes on the extrusion process. So it looks like no, Thomas Jefferson did not invent macaroni and cheese. It says no one knows exactly who invented mac and cheese, but it wasn't Jefferson, though he seemed to have been a fan of it. So while Thomas Jefferson did not invent macaroni and cheese, it sounds like he loved macaroni and cheese, which so do I. So I'm okay with this.
What factoids have you learned that are your favorite that you like a lot?
Okay, so
I'm ready to be educated.
I have a few that I found very interesting. The first one was about Peggy Schuyler.
Okay.
And I was curious what happened to her because she just
Yeah.
isn't in the second act. She married her cousin. Second of all, her and Hamilton were also super close until the day she died. He was there with her when she died and wrote home to Eliza to let her know that Peggy had died.
Quick interjection. I actually bought the book that Lynn read to come up with the idea for Hamilton. Never got all the way through it, but that was a few years ago when I first got into Hamilton. I got the book. So I need to reread it at some point.
I would
really
love
like
to read that.
But I would love to share it with you, let you borrow it. It's so good. It's a really good read.
I would really like to.
Like at first I thought it was going to be boring, like kind of a textbook kind of thing. It's really not. It's so interesting.
Oh, I just remembered another fact that I found interesting. His firstborn son was Philip, and then after Philip died, they had another son a year later and named him Philip after his older brother.
I forgot about that. You're right.
And I also looked up to see like what happened to Theodosia Burr, and apparently she vanished. Said that she died, but no one actually
No one
really
knows what happened to her.
So like she could have been like stranded on an island and actually lived a life.
One of my other favorite factoids is that one of Hamilton's sons became a lawyer, took Burr to court over something, and then Burr went home and died of like a brain aneurysm.
I know
or something.
exactly what it was. I know that story.
Okay.
So Burr was married to Theodosia and had Theodosia Jr. And I think when Theodosia Jr. was like 11, I could be completely wrong about the age, other Theodosia dies. He doesn't remarry again until he's 70 or 80 years old, basically. He gets married to this really rich lady. I guess he starts like draining her money. So she divorces him, and Alexander Hamilton's son is her divorce lawyer.
Oh.
And the day the divorce is finalized, Burr dies.
That's right. That's what it was.
Yep.
Because I remember there was someone like on Tumblr or Pinterest or something that was like, keep going, where they were like, so basically Hamilton's son just crushed Burr in court, and then he went home and died. I know that sounds petty, but it's like, that's what you get.
So earlier when I was trying to get to your house, I literally didn't know how to get there.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, I just like ended up on your street, and I was like, how did I do this?
I was worried about you last night because I was like, is she gonna know how to get out of here? I really hope she knows how to get out of here. And I hope that she calls me or texts me if she doesn't know where she is and I can help her get out.
All right. There you go.
Take it easy.
All right. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
All right. Take it easy.
Oh, that scared the out of me. Ow! Move!
All right. Take it easy.
Oh, that scared me. Oh my God.
You're just like,
You're insane.